All eyes are on Geneva. Negotiators gathered in a Swiss city today for high-stakes talks between the United States and Iran, mediated once again by Oman. They were indirect talks, meaning that messages are passed through intermediaries, as both sides remain officially unwilling to sit down face-to-face. But the goal is clear: prevent a U.S. military strike on Iran. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner took part in the negotiations alongside Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Meanwhile, President Trump has said he will also be involved, and then he added a threat.
What are you expecting from these Iran talks in Geneva tomorrow?
So I'll be involved in those talks indirectly, and they'll be very important. We'll see what can happen. It's been typically Iran's a very tough negotiator. They're good negotiators, or bad negotiators. I would say they're bad negotiators because we could have had a deal instead of sending the B-2s in to knock out their nuclear potential, and we had to send the B-2s. I hope they're going to be more reasonable. They want to make a deal.
Ahead of the talks, Tehran signaled cautious optimism, claiming the U.S. position on its nuclear program has moved towards a more realistic one. Well, that sounds like progress. But the problem is, the United States appears to be negotiating with one hand and loading a weapon with the other. According to reports, the American military is actively preparing for the possibility of weeks of operations against Iran if President Donald Trump gives the order. And Trump has not been subtle. He's repeatedly threatened military intervention, first following Iran's deadly crackdown on protesters last month, and then again over Iran's nuclear program. Just days ago, he even hinted at regime change.
Do you want regime change in Iran?
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen. For 47 years, they've been talking and talking and talking. In the meantime, we've lost a lot of lives while they talk, and legs blown off, arms blown off, faces blown off. It's been going on for a long time, so let's see what happens. In the meantime, we have tremendous power has arrived, and additional power, as you know, another carrier is going out shortly. So we'll see it how. If we could get it settled for once and for all, that would be good.
At the same time, Iran is flexing its own muscles. Today, Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei threatened Washington, saying it will not succeed in destroying Tehran. He also warned that U.S. warships in the Gulf can be sunk. A day ago, Iran began a military drill in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most crucial transit points on Earth, where nearly 20% of the world's oil passes. Iran says the drill is meant to test intelligence and operational capabilities across the Strait of Hormuz, the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. Ahead of indirect talks with the U.S., Iran's foreign minister met his Omani counterpart in Geneva to coordinate Iran's position on nuclear issues and sanctions relief. He also met the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency. Well, just before the talks, a clear sign that nuclear monitoring and inspections are central to this conversation. The Trump administration says it wants a deal that ensures Iran cannot develop nuclear weapons. Iran's deputy foreign minister has hinted Tehran could compromise, but only if the lifting of sanctions are part and parcel of any deal with the U.S. Meanwhile, Washington and its ally Israel believe Iran is aiming to develop a nuclear bomb.
I will not hide from you that I express my skepticism of any deal with Iran because, frankly, Iran is reliable on one thing: they lie and they cheat. But I said that if a deal is to be reached, it should have several components that we believe are important not only for the security of Israel, but for the security of the world.
Iran insists that its program is peaceful, even though it has reportedly enriched uranium far beyond civilian energy needs. Tehran also remembers what happened the last time. When attempts to revive talks were underway in June last year, Israel launched airstrikes, followed by U.S. bombers hitting nuclear targets. Iran claims it has since halted uranium enrichment activity. But now the stakes are even higher. Iran is politically weakened by internal protests, economic crisis, and Western sanctions, which have crushed oil income. And as Washington pushes to expand negotiations to include Iran's missile stockpile, Iran pushes back. So Geneva is not just a meeting, and what makes it high stakes is not just what Iran is willing to give up, but what the US is willing to do if Iran refuses. The question now is simple. Will Geneva result in agreement or disaster?
Power doesn't end quietly. Some deaths are not accidents. They are messages. A gunshot. A crowd. A country frozen. The killer disappears. The questions don't. This is not just about who died. It's about what followed. Governments fell. Armies moved. History rewrote itself. 5 leaders. 5 moments. One pattern. The assassination.